Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to this Abarth 595 Competizione that you could see in the thumbnail. Now, I've got this car from Abarth UK for 2 weeks and I'm excited to kind of share this with you because the reason I reached out to them is more specific than just a review. I want a hot hatch and this is a huge contender in my eyes just from what I've seen. So I wanted to live with it, I wanted to bring you this experience as soon as possible. So I've collected the car a few hours ago, barely put any miles on it, and I just wanted to share from a potential future owner's perspective what I like about the exterior, interior and the way it drives, all from an initial impressions perspective. So this car weighs 1100 kilos roughly and has about 180 horsepower, so it's a bit of a pocket rocket. The car's finished in yellow, obviously going along the lines of a quirky kind of hot hatch. It's finished in a very vibrant colour. Anyone who knows me knows I wouldn't spec a car like this. It's finished with these wheels, which I believe are the standard ones for the 595 comp, and it's got Brembo brake calipers, which are, I can confirm, are very good. Finished in red with the red center caps in the wheels. I do like the wheels and the diamond cut finish, but I have a different set in mind if I was to ever spec my own 595 comp. Then it's got the black decals finished on the side, again just to accentuate the sportiness of this model. Finished with black mirror caps. What else is there? There's the antenna delete here, which typical Abarths would come with a small antenna for the aerial. It has been covered by a kind of metallic cap with the Scorpion logo, which you can see dotted around the car. Updates for the Series 4 obviously include the lights, general kind of facelift on the bumpers, and in the interior it's the most noticeable. Then at the back, one of the most important things to note, the Monza exhaust. Boot space, because some people might care, is not great, but again, you don't buy a car like this for the boot space. What else is there? Privacy glass, tinted rear windows, and yeah, if you ever see an Abarth with mud guards, there is a reason for it. I know some people might not like the styling, but I mean, this car was dropped off to me clean, and after about 15 miles I've managed to do this. So on the interior, there's both positives and negatives. I'm going to go bit by bit around the interior and actually just point out what I like and don't like, starting with the driver's zone, because obviously that's what you're going to spend the majority of your time looking at as an owner of an Abarth. This car has the carbon fiber optioned onto the wheel, which I love. It's a flat bottomed wheel as well, so the shape of it is really sporty, really perfect for driving. I love the addition of the carbon. It really does transform the look of the car, especially because, dare I say it, parts of the interior, I'm not going to specify which parts, they make it a little bit cheap, so to add this, it really does transform it. And then followed with the Alcantara that kind of joins onto the leather parts of the wheel, continued onto the top of the speedometer here. These nice materials actually do transform the driver's zone, as well as the pedals, which obviously aren't stock for a Fiat 500. So all of this differentiates the car from its less aggressive counterpart. Other things, if I just quickly put the ignition on in this into the actual screen, as you can see, it's an aggressive kind of finish. This is actually sport mode, hence the red backing, and that's indicated here if I show you the boost bar, which is again very cool, very gimmicky. I love that. So the buttons here, if I click it, it will take you back into normal mode, and just having this ability to switch from normal to sport and actually see a difference both visually and in the performance of the car, it's great. It allows the car to kind of transform and feel more aggressive when you want it to, and when you don't, you kind of tone it down and it's noticeably different. Anything else to mention? The seats, Seatbelt bucket seats, they are great. Obviously in the back, the same kind of ribbed effect is followed through on the seating, but legroom, yeah, I don't know about the back. I've been in a previous Gen 1 and it's not the nicest place to be as a passenger, but from the front you get these Seatbelt buckets, which you can option to have the whole back here in carbon fiber. This one isn't, it's just finished in a kind of scratchy plastic, but the seats themselves are great for support. They look good aesthetically, so I can't fault them as of yet. I don't think there's anything else really to do other than drive the car for a little bit, let you actually hear it, because that's another thing I have fallen in love with. It is the exhaust system. The ride is very firm, but that's to be expected. Abarth have kind of modified the suspension. It's going to be stiffer. It's a small, rigid little hot hatch. It's not meant to be comfortable, so that's understandable. Just the noise is amazing. I've said this in the 124 video. I couldn't get enough of it. It's the same kind of system, so obviously I was going to love that. Steering is great. It's very direct. You feel like you're a bit high up, so it's kind of deceptive what the car's capable of in a way, because I know the car's capable of taking corners at good speeds. It is a sporty car after all. Because you're sat in this kind of bus driver position, you feel like you kind of question it. You're a bit more hesitant. With this, it's just a different feeling. I've just got to, I think, learn to trust it. Other than that, can't fault it. I love seeing the sports display in the turbo boost gauge right in front of me. It's just in my peripheral vision and you can't get enough of it. It's so gimmicky just to be able to see the amount of bar that you're using from the turbo, but it's addictive to kind of watch it. So one thing I do actually want to cover about the seating position, I'm happy driving this car. It's not uncomfortable. Obviously there's these drawbacks of limited adjustability, but for me, I'm happy driving it at the moment after toying with it for a very short amount of time. The one issue is if you want to make a small adjustment while driving the car, it is near on impossible. So you have the ability to move the seat forwards or backwards with a lever at the front, and you also have the ability to move the rake of the seat via a knob that is found here on this side. And I'm telling you, because of the way that I can't even do it around the corner, because of these here that obviously provide amazing support, but the seat is in the way of the actual lever, so to be able to do it, it's impossible. On the other side though, there is literally nothing. There is so much space to have put it, but for some reason they've chosen to do it there. So just small things like that. Otherwise, I'm very happy with this car. It's so easy to kind of just jump in and use it. I've never owned or used a new Gen 4 Abarth, so this is my first time in it, and I got used to it like that. It's tiny, so on the road you can position it where you want. You don't worry about anything, where you are in your lanes, all of that, because it's tiny, and that's great. I'm sure it'll provide its downsides in the long run, obviously with fitting people inside or using the boot, but for actually negotiating your way around a busy city, can't fault it. Okay, so the engine, because I've talked about the exhaust a lot, but I keep forgetting to talk about the thing that's attached to. So the 1.4 litre obviously is not the most powerful car, but it does weigh as much as a shoe, so in that regard it is still very, very rapid for the size of it, for what you would use it for. Can't fault it. I mean, 0 to 60 is done in sub 7 seconds. To let me know in the comments if there is a better car in your opinion for what I'm looking for, and also what you think of the idea of me getting one of these cars as a hot hatch, as a daily run around, because I'd love to hear your feedback on just how people receive the 595 in general. I know there's a good following of it online anyway. People do really love these cars, so let me know what you think. But yeah, the car's great so far for the 3 hours. This isn't good consumer advice. I've literally had no experience with it. But for your information, if anyone cares, to jump in and go,